so definitely. So providing education and market insights for our clients and for global traders, keep on looking at the long-term charts and not falling into the trap of media headlines and the daily price.
Well, hello and welcome everyone to the Forex Expo podcast at the Forex Expo Dubai 2025. I'm your host, and we have one of the sharpest analytical mind from the Forex industry. That's Razan over here. So, hi, how are you?
Good morning. Thank you for the introduction. I'm great. The expo over here is packed with lots of people, and the energy is pretty good.
I mean, it's fabulous to see a lot of people here, like traders, IBs, investors, few different innovators who just cater to create the next cutting edge tools for all the traders around the world, right? So, how's your experience overall over here as you're being an analyst, right? The market analyst at the forex.com. So, you've been into researching and deep diving into a lot of different segments, right? So, what's your overall experience? What's your analytics about the Forex Expo?
Yes, correct. So, well, first of all, just arriving here at the Forex Expo, there was a lot of traffic, and the parking lots
Yes.
are all pretty full, which can reflect the overall hype for the Forex Expo Dubai for this year. So, we have people coming from all around the world just to attend this exhibition. And from an analyst perspective, we can see a very strong trend, very strong momentum, which can overall give very good results and overall for the overall exhibition. And of course, leave a very good feedback loop for the exhibition for 2026.
I mean, this particular version, the 2025 version,
Yes.
is also being a nominee for the Guinness World Record, right? So have you heard about that as well?
It's the first time I hear about it, but I'm really not surprised given the fact that there is a very long queue outside just for people to enter, and
Yes.
given the fact that almost the overall area is packed and blocked with cars just coming over here between taxis and between people. So I'm really not surprised because there's a lot of momentum and a lot of people coming here.
Yes, I mean, seeing a lot of incredible minds at a single stage, right?
Yes.
It's fabulous. And you being a market analyst for Forex.com, right, for a very long time. So, how do you process all the different markets at one go? I mean, what's your go-to strategy?
Yes, so one of the main things that I like to abide by when reading the markets is intermarket analysis. And I like to look at the charts as having a conversation with one another, looking at the price level of the US dollar index, looking at gold, looking at US indices. So I like to look at key assets across the globe between commodities, indices, currencies, to be able to understand the whole macro picture for these charts. And then, of course, if I want to analyze a certain sector and have my certain projection and analysis, then I'll go dive a deeper dive into that single chart to be able to perform my analysis on it.
And obviously, you not just monitor one sector, right? Because every segment of asset class around the financial industry is somewhat interlinked with each
Yes.
other, right? So you have to go through each and every segments, and then you can create the final output of analysis, right?
Yes, definitely. And now we are seeing very interesting liquidity in the markets, knowing that we're seeing certain correlations that we did not see before in 2025, notably as we have lots of increasing demand on the gold chart, which is now nearing $4,000. And we still have also a similar risk appetite in the markets across Bitcoin, across US indices as well. So we have dual liquidity exposure in the markets right now and lots of highs towards the end of 2025.
And as being the analyst at forex.com, forex.com is very much research driven, right? So how do you feel your role is being a core of this whole segment?
Yes, so definitely. So providing education and market insights for our clients and for global traders is very essential in understanding the markets because education comes first, and then we can learn how to navigate the volatility and the risks for our positions or our portfolios. So education definitely comes first, especially in an environment that has lots of sentiment, lots of AI-driven volatility. We have lots of headlines across the globe, and we need to minimize this noise and have a structured outlook while educating investors on critical market insights for each asset.
And as being traders being getting more diversified, it's not just the big whales right now.
Yes.
There are more retail traders also entering the global market, right? So there must be a shift in the format of educational stuff that you guys provide, right? So how do you feel that transition is going on?
Yes, totally. So with respect to the markets and with respect to the widespread of AI now in the industry, it's super easy for people to learn and to start trading in the markets. And we also have lots of widespread of AI bots. So that we're seeing lots of volatility in the markets, lots of short-term noise. And one advice I'd give, since we have a lot of short-term volatility and noise, I'm going up to higher time frames to be able to see and detect the overall structure of a certain chart. When I go to the weekly and the monthly, I can see a clear picture. But if we're going to go down to the hourly charts or even the daily, we're seeing day-to-day headlines and day-to-day volatility that retail traders are engaging in. That if you as a trader or analyst want to look at the chart from a short-term perspective, you might not see the full picture unless you zoom it out, and then you can see the full structure of a chart.
And how do you see this economical shift from the big whales trade to the retail trade?
Yes, so this overall shift is being reflected as volatility across the charts, and we're also seeing lots of priced in sentiment in the market. So we have a certain headline, and then we are seeing people run in the direction of this certain narrative, irrespective if this fundamental event happened or not, or if this report was released or not. We're seeing a certain narrative and sentiment snowball across the markets. People trading all the way towards a certain Fed rate cut or a certain tariff decision, although it's not implemented yet in the markets, creating these extreme price moves across the globe, and then reaching what we call a priced-in mechanism in the markets, which people should be aware of, a priced-in market, and differentiate it from a certain headline, not to fall into any certain trap.
Also, there was a curious question that I had while the conversation started. So, as the volatility is increased, right, there might be fluctuation in the slippage as well, like the moment I placed trade and the exact value that I got it, right? So, is that a bummer for a trader? How do you feel about that?
So, of course, when there's a certain high event or a high impact coming, or a certain natural state of liquidity in the markets, of course, the entry position is going to be somewhat tricky. Yet, of course, if we're going to look at the major picture of a certain chart and entering before we have a certain headline hit or before we have a certain shakeout in the markets, we might have a better positioning and better risk management than following a certain headline or a certain event and jumping into the markets, which can manage risks better and possibly limit certain losses in the markets.
And what's your one key segment that you want to share? Like this would be my one advice as being an analyst.
Yes, definitely. My main advice is just keep on looking at the long-term charts and not falling into the trap of media headlines and the daily price changes, because they might not reflect the whole story, and they might enter a certain trap or create a certain narrative that might not exist currently on a certain chart.
Because it's going to be a good short-term entry, but in a long view, you cannot be reliable on the short charts, right?
Yes, it's essential to know what are the dominating trends across the history of a chart, which are likely to steer the trend in a certain direction. We still have the famous saying that the trend is your friend, and long-term trends and the long-term structure on the charts will continue to dominate the price movements. If we're going to look at it only from a short-term time frame perspective, there's a high chance of being caught on into certain losses in the markets. But directing our positions in line with the broader trend might minimize these losses and align us with better wealth or a position.
There's a lot more to learn about how these markets go, right? So, thank you so much, Razan, for the insights that you gave, and thank you so much for the time and giving us this insightful journey over here. And just keep on following Forex.com and such great minds over here, and do follow their analysts. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you.